to the Honorable Chief Justice, to the Governor Central Bank, and to the Deputy, President Law Society of Kenya, all bankers, all lawyers, and all mediators. Good morning. I do not know that I will take the directions from the Dean about cracking a joke to Taona. If maybe Mrs. Mbijue talks nicely to me, or Ms. Atieno talks nicely to me, we might find a joke. Now, I wish, with your permission, Honorable Chief Justice, to adopt the protocol already laid down so well. And speaking as the chairman of the court-annexed mediation task force, I'm indeed honored to address you today on the occasion of the inaugural summit, themed Banking and Mediation, leading the way. It is not an accidental title or theme. We now have introduced mediation, which can be done privately. You do not have to wait to come to court to then be referred back to mediation. Private mediation is already there. So when I say it is not accidental, what do I mean? Before we introduce private mediation, in answer to all the challenges that were being pushed our way, the Kenya Bankers Association had already introduced it. This thing called credit information sharing was bringing hell, because it is a requirement of the law that if you are not performing and you are a customer, your information is shared. A lot of people call it blacklisting. Apana. You are only failing to meet your obligations, say in paying your monthly installments towards the loan, and therefore they share your information. What then happens is it makes it difficult for you, if you're non-performing, to get another loan from somebody else. Sounds good, because you don't want people to keep on borrowing everywhere and not paying, because it's only if you pay back that the banks are able to give to other people and money circulates and the economy grows. But what tended to happen is this. After they have shared the information, you find some money from somewhere and you make good your commitment. What then happens? The information is not shared as quickly as the bad one. And therefore, you remain a defaulter in the eyes of the other banks. And it was very, very irritating to customers. I am no longer in default. Why is my name in the bad books? What then happened? Banks were being sued. But do they need to be sued merely by failing to quickly update your records? You may say yes. So if you sue me and I'm your banker, am I going to give you another loan? Huh? Am I? No, I'm not likely to. You may get, ultimately, if you do succeed, you may get some compensation. But which bank are you going to go to when they have shared your information and they know this one is a difficult one? Not you, Daktari. So, banks do not want to be sued. They may have been slow in updating your information. the credit information about you. So they quickly started inviting the customers and posing the question, what is it really you need? And the person says, because you have blacklisted me, I am unable to get another credit facility. And therefore the question comes, what is it you need? I will correct it. Is that enough? And many times, because removing your name from that list, it then enables you to get another loan, you realize, okay, good. And the bank will also say to the other banks, actually, this guy is not too bad. When we correct the information, he accepted it, and the relationships continued. And I remember at the School of Monetary Studies, we launched this thing, and they have their own in-house mediation rules, and it works. So those of you who are borrowing and going to the good friends of a lay society to sue when your customer, when your client is in default, it is okay. The lawyers also need money. But you are already in default. So the little money that you would have used to pay the loan, unapelekea wakili, you give it to the lawyers. The lawyers are happy. And they deserve to be happy. After all, that's why they went to school. Not only to read English, but to know the law and where to find it. Now, when you sue your banker, they have the money, they have the patience. You are already unable to pay your loan in time. Who suffers? So you're now not servicing your loan, and you're paying money to your advocate. As I say, lawyers deserve to have their money too. But are you not happier if you were to approach your banker and explain that it's not really because the rate of interest is too high? The truth is, what is the excuse they are giving nowadays for not being able to service the loan? Corona. COVID. The problem of the rate of interest only arises because you are not able to make enough money to service your loan. Not because suddenly the rate of interest has gone up. So what is it you really need from your bank? Rescheduling of your loan. How do you achieve that? By bringing them to court? Not possible. That is not a justiciable issue. That you can come to court and say to court, Judge Odunga, he gives all those judgments. So you're likely to go to him and say, Judge Odunga, please order this bank to reschedule the loan. He can't. Because if it's in the contract, he will enforce the terms of the contract. But imagine you approach the bank and say, my difficulty stems from the economy. The economy is bad. I'm requesting you to reschedule. And he does. Aren't you happy? Yes. What does the bank want? Just its money. So, mediation works. You led the way. Kenya bankers, we applaud you. Continue leading the way. As mediation continues to take root in this country, we all need to appreciate, if you have not done so already, that there is need for sober look at disputes. Because when your name is in there, as I say, you get very hot under the collar. But it will not itself solve the problem. Find sobriety to be able to find a solution which hopefully will be good for you and good for the person you are fighting with. We in the judiciary began mediation in the year 2016 on a pilot basis. So far, we have overseen the establishment of 43 mediation registries across the country. We could have done better, except that when the corona hit, things slowed down. Yes, it also hits us. These 43 registries across the country serve about 101 court stations. This cut across from the Qadhi's courts to the Magistrates' Court to the High Court, to the Employment and Labor Relations Court, and to the Land Court. The Court of Appeal has not been left behind. Now, initially, the Court of Appeal believed, as perhaps a number of you might, that how do I agree to go to mediation when I have a judgment and the matter is on an appeal? And I remember before I joined that court, I was invited by the Court of Appeal to address them. And over 50% of the judges of appeal were of the view, it's too late. One party is already holding a decree, and the other one is the judgment debtor. How likely is it that they are going to sit and talk? About what? I already have my judgment. The good news is that yes, even at the Court of Appeal, mediation is possible and is taking place. Why? What's the motivation? I may have the decree today, I got it in the High Court, or I got it in the Land Court. What guarantee is there that it's going to be upheld by the Court of Appeal? What guarantee? And therefore, when you are in a position of strength with your decree, you become magnanimous and say to the other party, you know, you've been ordered to pay 200 million, we can talk. If you pay me 120 million within the next, I don't know how many days or months or years, I can forgo the rest. And then our relationship can continue. And that is happening. So even at the Court of Appeal, ladies and gentlemen, we are having mediation in banking in particular. I'm hoping that when we stand here next year, we will be talking about mediation perhaps in the family division. And that, to my mind, is something closely related to banking. How so? A stable family with a good income or a reasonable income, which is not being interrupted by the sale of the security, then is happier. You live more cordially. I'm about to end. You may be happy to know. This is the point at which I express my sincere gratitude to all the honorable judges from the USA, led by none other than Judge Ochieng, the judges from Zambia and Rwanda, members of the stakeholder working group, including the Strathmore University, Bwana Vice Chancellor, asante sana, Kenya Bankers Association, the Law Society of Kenya, the Kenya Judiciary Academy, our Chief Registrar, all the registrars here present, Jones Day. We value your support, because without your support, this would not have been possible. I would also like to acknowledge the invaluable guidance and support provided by the Court Annexed Mediation Task Force and the Mediation Accreditation Committee. Those persons who give you accreditation so that we can then give you work as a mediator handling the matters we refer to mediation. I want to reiterate a very, very, very special thank you to the Strathmore University for graciously hosting this summit. Thank you very much. Sasa unaenda wapi? I thought he gave me some orders and I've not obeyed, and here he comes. What do I do with him? What do you think? An order for...
We need to mediate.
Oh yeah, okay, you're very right. You have been a bad boy, but I will agree to go to mediation. Thank you very much.